Yeah.
I got another question for you.
Wow. Oh, oops, I didn't pause it. Pause.
I got another question for you.
You got another question for me?
Yes, I do.
You
But
do?
if we're live, I'll hold off.
We are live now.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. We're gonna get rid of that. So, welcome to the podcast, everybody. I know this is the second week. I know we didn't have one last week. My co-host, Spartan, he went to go see Deadpool 3, which I've heard very good things about. I've heard good and bad things.
Really?
Yes. So just before we start into the show, this show's going to be a little bit different from what we usually do. We usually do, just plain Star Wars stuff. But since we're kind of hitting a little dry spell with Star Wars news, we're going to kind of just talk about what's been going on. I know my co-host Spartan talking about Comicon, big jumps, big announcements that are talking about what's going to be happening with the MCU, which I've heard some of them. He probably will tell me some things that I didn't know. And as a big Marvel person, big into Marvel, he will definitely be able to give us that elaborate, in-depth look into it. But also, if we do have time, we'll maybe talk a little bit about what's going on in the gaming thing. We'll see about that. But yeah, back to the Deadpool thing. What I've heard from people about Deadpool, the issue...
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, Andre, you have not seen it, correct?
I have not.
Okay, then folks, this will be a non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler. But what I've heard from people, specifically, like it's about the multiverse. And the one thing that Marvel has done with the multiverse is it's creating those stakes. And I think with having a multiverse, you kind of could go, oh, well, we can just fix that easily. There's no really great threat that feels substantial. Because you think about it, the last time we've had a very substantial, at least for me, was Thanos, destroy kill half of the human race, half of everybody. It's devastating. So I think that was what I've heard. I said, as someone that hasn't seen it and only have heard from some people, that was one thing I've heard, was that it's just the story, the bad guy, there was just not that tension. But as I said, a Deadpool movie, it's going to be funny. It's going to have that great humor. And they brought back Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine. You can't get any better than that. Yeah. So I would say by what I've heard and what I can assume, it's going to be a fun movie. Now, are you going to go for the story and get invested? I don't know. I would say I more would go for Deadpool's hilariousness and seeing what kind of shenanigans you get, and then of course Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again, and the dynamic you'll get between Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what I've heard. That's the only thing that I've heard is bad. But besides that, it's doing amazing. It's making a lot of money, so it's a good success for sure.
So, I will say, I remember seeing a joke here very recently where it was like some of Hugh Jackman's highest grossing films out there, and how like some of the X-Men's were somewhere around like a meager like 50 million all in all, like over time. You know how long the X-Men's have been out.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
Logan was definitely one of his more popular ones that have come out, and I think even that was around 52. And then you had Deadpool and Wolverine, which launched at like a 545 million. And so it blew like his earnings out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous so far what they've made. But obviously, it's a fan favorite Deadpool. It's classic Wolverine.
Classic Wolverine.
Iconic Wolverine.
It's just a great dynamic between two people. One that's super serious, one that really isn't as serious. It's going to be a fun time, easily. And if you haven't seen Deadpool 3, I don't blame you if you've were really wanting to go watch it because I've only heard great things about it. It's fun. And I said the only thing is just don't go in being like this is the story that's going to be revolutionary for Marvel. It's not. It's go in, have a great time. It's one of those popcorn flicks. You're gonna enjoy it for sure. For just those two characters coming together on the screen. So
I've seen it, of course. I'm gonna be careful with what I say here. I definitely do think it's definitely gonna be one of those just go enjoy it. Just go enjoy the movie, even if you're not into Marvel or whatever. It's Deadpool. End of the day. Good friend of mine who went with me. They are not a Marvel fan, but they're a Deadpool fan, so of course they had to go see it. So I truly do think any and all people will enjoy this film. And as for the story, I can see what Andre's saying. It's got its highs, it's got its lows. But the comedy is definitely the biggest hook in it, for sure. And everyone can have fun with that. Sorry, hold on.
Sorry guys, I'm doing some stuff behind the scene, but yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's definitely worth to go see. I know. Actually, the funny thing is actually, have you talking about movies? I know we're going off topic, but Spartan, Caden, did you ever go see what was that movie called? It's the Midnight Shyamalan movie that came out.
No, it came out today.
It came out today? Okay. I knew it was coming out.
I want to so bad.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
Time, for me to get to the movie theater is a little more of a hassle.
Yeah, of course.
Out there, I don't drive. So, getting around to that in a small town is not easy. But for that movie, it's called Trap. That's what we're referring to.
Oh yeah, Trap is what it was called.
Or Trap, something like that.
It's a Trap. Yeah. But I've heard interesting reviews about it. I personally do want to go, and I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters because that kind of brings up a whole topic. Especially with just how much the movie theaters. For you though, where you live, I'm pretty sure movie tickets aren't that expensive compared to where I live.
They're like 7 here.
See, yeah, so just to kind of give you guys a reference, Spartan, my co-host, he lives in a smaller town. As he said, his tickets are like $7. That is actually very reasonable. Where I live in a city, I would say a big city, biggest city in the state that we live in, technically.
So, yes, we're going off Kansas statistics.
Yeah.
Folks.
Whoa. But yes, so pretty much tickets here for just a regular standard ticket is about, I think last time I checked, it's about like 10. Probably, actually, I would say more than 10. It's probably about like $12. And if you want,
a lot I've seen were 12.
Yeah.
I know Branson was.
But if you want to go see an IMAX, that's like a whole nother thing. That's like $20 is what I was seeing, and I'm just like, jeez, man, that's so expensive. Don't get me wrong. I think the movie's going to be great. And as I said, if I was paying $7, like what you're paying, I would totally go see movies a lot more. But that's why a big portion why most of the time it's kind of hard to find a reason to go to the movies. Do I want to spend $20 or do I just want to wait for it to get on the streaming services? And that's kind of where I lean towards. It's just waiting for it to get on to the streaming service. Like Tarot, the horror movie about tarot cards that hit theaters. I don't know when it hit theaters, but now it's on streaming services.
I will fight for you.
Wait, why? Wait, what?
It's not tarot.
Tarot? It isn't.
They're tarot cards.
Tarot, my bad.
Yeah, the T is silent.
That's how it was told to me by somebody. I might have misunderstood him. So I was like,
them. Go fight them too.
I'm sorry. So yeah, tarot cards. Like I remember seeing the trailers about it, and I was really like, oh, I wouldn't mind going to watch this movie. But I said with tickets being so expensive, now it's actually on streaming. I will definitely probably watch it tonight and see if it was decent, because they've already done like Ouija boards and horror.
Wow.
Now they're doing a tarot. You know,
What streaming's on?
it's on Netflix. I
Yeah, I don't have it.
you know, I have Netflix. I'm pumped. Woo! I'm gonna watch that probably tonight. But yeah, I know I kind of went off on a spin off with movies and
You're
stuff,
good.
but yeah.
Fine.
But yeah, there's actually, like, what me and Spartan were talking about, like, offline. We were talking about, like, there's a lot of movies that are coming out just now lately that have definitely piqued both of our interests. I think the next one that's supposed to be coming out is Borderlands. Now I know.
I was gonna say, yeah, I had 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Last week was Deadpool. This week is Trap, and then actually end of this week, Friday or Thursday, whatever the 9th is. I think that is Friday.
It is Friday, yeah. It's Friday, so it comes out Friday. Okay. And I know there's been a lot of, as I understand, how I understand it, there's been a lot of negativity with a lot of the casting, and I can perfectly understand why, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I will give them a shot. Be like, I'll be like, let's watch it. Let's see how it goes, because it's their interpretation of Borderlands. It's not going to be like the games at all.
Not at all.
But as I said, I'll give them a shot. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll give it a shot, guys. That's all we can do at this point,
Oh yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how it goes with that movie. As I said, I'm not expecting a lot, but it could surprise us. You never know. You never know.
I'm excited. Not for the cast. I'm one of the people Andre's referring to. I'm not a huge fan of the cast at the moment.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine.
The only person that I'm like, yes, please, yes, is absolutely Jack Black as Claptrap. That's gonna be really fun.
I think it will be very interesting for sure.
Otherwise, other person who's got my vote, because we've seen her in a lot, and I think I mentioned her this last week, because I know we talked about this before. We've talked about some of these movies in this release schedule. Ariana Greenblatt, that's her name.
She's wait, who's she supposed to be?
She is Tiny Tina.
Oh, okay. So I have an idea.
I only bring her up because Andre, you've also seen her in Star Wars and Marvel. I'm positive of that because the little gal, she has played young Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series, and she has played Gamora, young Gamora in Marvel.
Gamora.
Yeah, so she got a great start off, and I can't wait to see what she puts out.
Okay. I think one of the podcasts I was watching, or like a little snippet, they were mentioning that she has been in multiple projects. But now that you brought that up, it just reminds me. I was like, oh yeah, she was in some of these projects. I said you.
More I can think of, but I just can't off the top of my head right now.
I can't either, but
those come to mind. I think they're already great, like standings. Like those are 2 pretty big franchises to be in already.
Not too bad for a starter,
Right.
So
I don't think this is her start. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, like I would say as more of, I guess technically as
mainstream.
Mainstream, like in the limelight. Not saying she wasn't in the limelight as playing like younger versions of other characters, but this is definitely her playing as a lead role. She's definitely in the limelight in the Borderlands movie because Tiny Tina is a very beloved character from the Borderlands series.
They definitely hype her up more in this movie as a character, I should say.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that would be definitely interesting for her.
Yes, indeed.
And Andre, you don't know hardly nothing about Borderlands, right?
The only stuff I know about Borderlands, I have played the first one, the second one, and I played the third one. I didn't play any of the prequels. Okay. The third one, I understood why a lot of people did not like it. The bad guys weren't the best.
Yeah.
Handsome Jack in the second one, fantastic. Love him. Awesome dude. Such a great villain. And then kind of becomes more of an ally or friend in the third one, I think.
Yeah. No. Oh,
But isn't there
you're
technically a DLC? I never played it, but I know he's in one of the
no,
DLCs.
no, you're thinking of pre-sequel.
Maybe I'm thinking of the pre-sequel then, yeah.
Pre-sequel, or actually no, it's not pre-sequel. I think it's called prequel. Because before the first one.
Yes.
It takes place before the first one, I believe, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Maybe right, maybe wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, but Handsome Jack is one of the main characters. He's kind of like the Roland of that game, where you play as his like rogues gallery of villains from Borderlands 2 as your characters. Nisha the Lawbringer, Wilhelm the Enforcer, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's just a really fun cast crew of just villains, or who we know become villains. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
That you did or didn't play?
I did not play.
You're calling it 3, but then you said you played the prequel or the prequel.
I did not play the prequels.
Okay. Yeah, no, that will be. Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's in my attention. Yeah, no, because
something beautiful.
That'll be something I don't even know if we'll get explored on in this movie. Like, I know that a lot of people are worried about the story for this, and I don't blame them. I think there's a lot to worry for.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's supposed to play more like Borderlands 1 story.
That's...
But there's a huge mesh of Borderlands 2 introduced characters in this story, and that's where it gets a little...
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, for sure.
Especially because there's characters that people wanted, like Brick and Mordecai, who can't confirm or deny if they're actually going to show in this movie.
Oh no.
There'll probably be like more of those like post-credit scene teasers, like, oh, look at all these guys.
I think, do you think the Borderlands movie is going to do good enough that they're going to make a second one?
I think it's actually, like, already set they're doing a sequel.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
I think it's one of those things that they're like, hey, look at our cast, look at our crew. We need to dive, like, Marvel does this pretty well. Star Wars does this really well, where it's like, we're already shooting.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, dude, Star Wars does that all the time. I think that's what they're doing with Skeleton Crew. I think they're already filming season 2, even though season 1's not out. Because especially with kid actors, gotta do it, or suffer like the Stranger Thing effect.
Also,
what people call it.
You mentioning that, I would not be surprised if we do get our answer if the Acolyte is getting a season 2 at D23.
I would. Like, I would be very surprised, because that's one of those things that was so high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
I think we will see it on the timeline, Like, I feel like they'll put it out there, like, 2027, 2026, whatever they go with for that.
Yeah.
I really do feel like we'll get something like that, but I don't think we will get, like, the true confirmation. Because, like, even with Marvel and them doing the whole thing at SDCC, that's just like what they're looking at now.
Yeah.
Same thing with gaming, same thing with movies, same thing with shows. It's like, this is what's slated as, this does not mean what will come out. Because even Marvel had like a whole 1 season setback. So, like, for instance, what's trying to remember what's coming out this year. The new Venom movie, okay?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
If not for all the delays, we would have gotten Deadpool last movie release, and we probably would have gotten Venom when Deadpool came out.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm trying to think what's next. The new Captain America, I don't think that's supposed to come out in March. I think it was supposed to come out in November. With the election,
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm really excited for that one.
I heard they had to do a lot of reshoots for that new Captain America because people that watched it, they didn't really have a good villain, so they had to reshoot it and bring in what's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Are you talking about Harrison Ford?
No, the villain for the new Captain America. It's
No, they had him pretty well set.
I heard that they had to do reshoots because
Well, they did do reshoots, that's for damn sure, but that's because the previous actor who played Thaddeus Ross in the MCU passed away. So a lot of the reshoots were bringing Harrison Ford into the fold and reshooting all the scenes with Harrison Ford rather than the gentleman who was supposed to be playing Thaddeus Ross.
which is interesting, seeing Harrison Ford now brought into the MCU officially as the president. But I guess he's done that role before. If you guys have seen Air Force One.
Yeah, which I love that. I love how everyone I've seen react to that trailer always mentions Air Force One.
Good movie, guys.
And it's no spoiler because it's in the trailer, so whatever. But Red Hulk, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
If he ends up playing Red Hulk and like, you know, this is something that becomes a little more long term of a role for him, which I hope. You know, Red Hulk's a great character.
I don't know nothing. Explain to us what Red Hulk is for specifically me, and if anyone else that's watching that doesn't know who Red Hulk is.
I don't know like detail. I just know this is like the powerhouse compared to Hulk, but Hulk can absolutely outpower him. This is like Savage almost. That's like a Savage Hulk.
Is it like
even that's not a fair description, but that's the best way I can put it. And he's definitely much more lenient on his human side. That's where like the whole fact that this is General Ross, you know, like this is supposed to be a military commander as Red Hulk, that shines big time because he's much more like very combative, you know. He's ready to actually like fucking suplex Hulk, where Hulk is just swinging, you know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's a little more controlled, but he is just as powerful.
Okay.
And that's usually what that dynamic leans into. Is just like you have Hulk, who is much more relentless, where you have Red Hulk, who a little more on the ball with what he does.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have like that second personality, I should say. At least, you know, according to the comics, I think a lot will change for this character going into the movie. But no, the reason I'm bringing it up is just because this will be a CGI face, you know? Harrison Ford, he's obviously getting old. I know he can still do his stunts, and I hear that there's actually a lot of stunts he did for this movie, and I'm super excited for it, but where this is going to be a CGI role and more of a voice than like a face, you know? I think that's what's really going to shine for him, his career, so on, in terms of like keeping this role alive through the MCU.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Since we're rolling into Marvel, we're gonna be talking a little bit about Comicon. Spartan's got the deets about it. There's been some big news.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
And I probably only know a portion of it compared to what you know. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big kahuna, the big announcement, because I know they're working on the Fantastic Four. I guess they showed... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I think that's a better place to start.
Yeah.
Because, folks, there's so much to unpack with the Fantastic Four. So much.
I saw some pictures of like a vehicle.
Did you see the cast? Oh, yeah. No, their vehicle, the flying car.
It looks really cool, actually, to be honest.
So, here's the thing I'm super excited for. As some of you may or may not know, Marvel's very first family was the Fantastic Four. If I'm not mistaken, it was actually one of the first characters created by Stan Lee. I have to look into it because I know they call it the first family, and I don't think that's just because they are a family. You know, I'm pretty sure it's because they were some of the first. You know, like why Rhydon is more important than Pikachu in some cases, because Rhydon was made first in Pokemon. But with the Fantastic Four, I'm so excited for that direction they're taking. Because the Fantastic Four, like in the story, it's more centered around the 70s, 80s, if not earlier, like the 60s. Because it has a lot to do with space. I think we've all seen the original Fantastic Four film, the one with I believe it's Ian Glenn, Michael Chiklis' Thing, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, the Human Torch.
Chris Evans, Chris Evans actually, because that was like his, technically, if you think about it, that was his first MCU role.
And I love that the trope. Go ahead.
He actually did a good job as I said. I don't know anything about the Human Torch, but I think he did a fantastic job as the Human Torch. I think he did a better job as Captain America. He is Captain America for a lot of people.
Exactly. He's just he's a great actor. Really is. What I'm super excited by with this is because Fantastic Four, like that film specifically with Chris Evans as Human Torch and the rest of the cast, they that will be my standard. We'll even talk about the 2013 Fantastic Four, and I know a lot of people denounced the whole Silver Surfer movie, the sequel to the Fantastic Four I'm talking about.
I know, I've seen all of them. Sadly. Sadly.
Yeah. I only say sadly because of 2012, 2013, 2014.
The newer Fantastic Four one, that was
Fan-fortastic.
Fan-fortastic.
Fan-fortastic, or whatever.
It was very interesting. If you guys didn't know, the reason that they keep making Fantastic Four movies, just for so many people that don't know, the reason they had to keep making it was because 20th Century Fox owned it, and it was just something in the stipulation where they have to make one every so many years to keep the property, because if they don't, then they lose it. So that's the whole reason why they've always kept making more consistently. Maybe the first two were made out of love and they actually really wanted to try, just did not work that well. But definitely the latest one, which came out whenever, that one was desperate.
Michael Jordan as Human Torch.
Yeah, it just felt like desperate. Just okay, guys, we got to make another one. What are we gonna do this time? Let's just pick cast. We'll figure it out. It felt very.
That's why
the
joke I was talking about is the MCU giving Human Torches a second chance since 2005.
Yeah,
I think that's when the first one came out.
I'd have to look that up. I can find out in a minute.
Okay, but that was just one of my favorite jokes with it, because of course Chris Evans got brought back on as Captain America. You had Michael Jordan come back and play as Killmonger. It was great. It was great. But with all that being said, I do have high hopes with this new Fantastic Four. And stuff that they talk about there at the panel, and if you don't want to know specific details, come back later or something. I don't know what to tell you.
So the first Fantastic Four movie came out in 2005. The latest one, the newest one that came out, or the latest one, it was 2017.
2017. Okay, I knew it had I knew they call it by the year because the title is shit.
And they don't even use the name until at the very end. Spoilers, by the way. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of them. They don't call themselves that typically. It's just it's like most Marvel things where it's
Let me take that back. It's 2015. My bad. Not 2017.
Okay, so
I don't know why it was
2015. Yeah. There's a lot of characters who don't actually call themselves by their name. You don't call Scarlet Witch, or not Scarlet Witch. Oh well, yeah, I guess that works too. You don't call the Scarlet Witch the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. Up until the WandaVision series, where they actually, how do I say, not reveal her, but they label her the Scarlet Witch. But with the Fantastic Four, that's a trope I'm sure is going to continue, sort of. Because with this new one, I think we're already in. I think we're already in the thick of it. Because the biggest points for the Fantastic Four movie are going to be, one, new universe. This isn't going to be MCU. Do not expect this to be in the same set world as the Avengers or any of that. Don't. Marvel is definitely leaning into the whole multiversal side of things, and I think that's fine. Well, Andre, you brought it up, like, you were worried the stakes aren't there with multiverse.
Yeah, it's the trope of the multiverse. Like, there's just you could think of you can find different ways. It's like, oh hey, if this person died, why can't we just go to a different universe and grab them? It opens up a lot of, we could fix things, or we maybe could go back and just find different ways to prevent something from happening. There's ways you can do it that will work, but it's opening up all these doors that possibly could happen, and you have to explain it in a way that is understandable and believable. And I think it's just the stakes also. You have to make it, make the stakes big, and it's kind of hard to do that with all these doors open and all these possibilities of things you could do or prevent things from happening. It's just kind of a thing that I know has lowered a little bit of the kind of storytelling in Marvel lately. But I think Marvel could come back and bring like that excitement again, like with the Thanos. I'm gonna call it the Thanos trilogy, or 3 movies that they had.
The Infinity Saga.
Yeah, the Infinity Saga. But yes.
Which is effectively phase 1, 2, and 3.
See. Yeah.
I will say, I see where you're coming from. I know what you mean. But, on the opposite side of that spectrum, looking at it, you can also argue the fact that now you might have multiple universes at risk. And there are details I could share, but I don't want to spoil anything for recent or recently released property. And so I won't go necessarily into all of why I think there's still a chance for multiversal trouble,
Yeah.
But, no, with this whole different universe, whole new scale, whole new scene, and with everything we know about the movie, I can absolutely see why. Because this universe is centered around the Fantastic Four. This is like, folks were familiar with The Boys.
The Boys, yeah.
The Fantastic Four in this movie are going to be more like the Seven.
Okay.
There we go. We are at a point in this story for like where they're starting is like these guys are just celebrities. I'm sure we'll get some like iconic backstory, Like I think Marvel's been pretty good about that, where it's like we can kind of skip over the true origin of these characters, but still allude to it and talk about it without showing it or really like devoting half the movie to that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because otherwise, that's exactly what the first Fantastic Four was about. It was the half the movie was kind of the setup, getting everything ready for what's to come. And so we've got retro futuristic 60s. That's why I like the car. If you saw the flying car, it looks very sleek. It looks very like flying cars from the Jetsons. That's because it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like 60s style. And that's why all the promo art you might see for this movie are going to be very retro 60s looking things. And then the other side of why I'm so excited for this movie. And I know people are going to be upset on the same spectrum, but where this is a whole different universe, I think there's room to give on this. Do you know who the villain is going to be?
For Fantastic Four?
Yes.
I'm assuming it's who they announced at Comicon. Who's going to be playing the big bad? Unless it's not him, because I know they said
not him.
It isn't. Then I have no idea. Then.
It is not Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is not going to be the feature of this movie. I do think that is where we will meet him. I think this is where we will meet Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, is in this movie.
Yep.
And I'll go into that later, why there's a whole thing there, and when we talk about him more. But the big bad for this movie is actually going to be Galactus.
Galactus?
Galactus the Planet Eater. I'm pretty confident there's going to be, like, this is, we're at the point for the Fantastic Four, like I said, where these guys are celebrities. They're top of the world. No one can stop them. Villains pop up left and right, like the Mole Man, and I'm sure he's going to get destroyed by the Thing, And, like, we're probably going to even see a point in the movie, which I know we did in the original Fantastic Four movie, where it's probably going to be like a montage of them just doing, like, mundane things, Whether it be their day in the life in the Baxter Building, whether it be them, like, like the Thing just holding up a criminal as he's trying to run away. I'm sure we're going to see very cartoonish things for this. Mind you, the guy who the guy who I believe was the director and the writer, both of them, from WandaVision are actually on this project.
Oh.
Which I think they did an amazing job with the kind of retro style stuff they had in WandaVision. So I'm really excited to see how they do that with the Fantastic Four. But I'm sure we're going to get this, like, mockery style montage of them just kicking butt. And then we're going to get, like, the bro thing. Like, this is a team that's on top, and then Galactus is going to destroy everything. So I want to say the Fantastic Four is actually going to end with the team losing and hopping galaxies or hopping multiverses because there's nowhere else that's safe.
Sounds interesting, actually. Huh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's how we're getting our introduction. I think that's how Doctor Doom is coming into this and coming to the MCU. I think that's how we get our our Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, this is just going to be everyone trying to get out of Earth in their universe because Galactus is going to destroy them. That's my biggest guess for that movie. And I'm so excited to see it. I know I saw videos, because, folks, if you don't know, San Diego Comic-Con, more often than not, they have a panel where they show all this stuff. That's where all this information is coming from. But they also have a trailer that is almost entirely exclusive to that panel. So if you were in the audience, congratulations. If you weren't, well, you're shit out of luck. You're probably not going to see the trailer for these scenes, these movies, nothing, for about 6 months, at least. Or until they finally decide to come out with the trailer for the movie. But I know apparently in the Fantastic Four one, it had something kind of like what I described already, where it's kind of a bit more montage, classic lifestyle of just the Fantastic Four in general. And as they're just hanging out, you see the eye of Galactus and they're like building. Like he's just there. And the reason I say there's some casting issues is because the Fantastic Four, they're awesome. I'll go over them here in a second. But the Galactus they have in question, I believe, is actually cast by a woman. Which typically Galactus is a man. And in the case of the sequel Fantastic Four movie, he is a cloud. Giant, non-existent cloud.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Andre, are you aware of the cast of this movie?
For the Fantastic Four.
It's such a star-studded lineup. I'm so excited.
I only know one person, but that's just me though, and that's Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, that's fair. Folks, that will be Pedro Pascal playing as Mr. Fantastic. Of course, he's had a great come up here lately. Like, of course, he had a great run in Game of Thrones. While he was part of that series, but otherwise with stuff like The Last of Us, I still cannot wait to see the massive weight of unbearable talent because I've yet to see that, but it looks hilarious. He was also in Wonder Woman, was it 1984 sequel? Mr. Pedro Pascal has been all over. So excited to see more. I have to look up her name. I keep forgetting her name. I know where she's from, or I've seen a movie with her. Andre, have you seen the movie Hobbs and Shaw?
Of course.
Have you really?
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. It's the spin-off. If you guys don't know, it's that spin-off of two characters from the Fast and Furious series.
Yes.
So.
I didn't know if you'd actually saw it because I know that was one of the movies. Like, oh, are they really doing this just because The Rock can't work with Vin Diesel or whatever? like that was one of the things I knew that came up for a while. For that, sorry, I'm looking at.
I'm just getting a video set up because on our stream I actually have videos playing and whatnot stuff.
Vanessa Kirby. That is her name. Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby. See.
Vanessa Kirby plays, I believe, Shaw's sister. I get their names mixed around, but it's Jason Statham's character. It's his sister in the film. She is going to be playing the Invisible Woman, and from at least more of the thing that they showed, it looks like the characters all have great chemistry. So I can totally believe that Pedro Pascal and her will have some great chemistry for this movie. Because the whole point is it's supposed to be like the mom and dad of the superhero team. And what has me super excited, honestly, though, is The Thing and Human Torch castings. Andre, you should totally know. Well, actually, I don't know if you know.
I don't know if I know.
The Human Torch casting is the star that he definitely blew up, I believe, 2 years ago now. And a lot of people have been super excited for him. His name is Joseph Quinn. He played Eddie Munson, Stranger Things Season 4.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the Human Torch.
Interesting. Huh.
I'm so excited for him, dude. He was so great in that. I loved his energy. I really hope we get to see more in the next season. Obviously, we know what happens, but there's a lot there that I think they could still do with the character, and I'm so excited. And just to see him as the Human Torch, I think is going to be really fun. Because I could believe him as the cocky younger brother of his sister, because that's what he's supposed to be. But mind you, Johnny Storm is also an ace pilot, and that's part of the reason he was even on the mission that earned them all their powers. So they definitely have to tackle that kind of field, because I definitely can see him as the playboy, charismatic guy that Johnny is. I just don't know if I can believe to see him as a 10 out of 10 pilot. That's going to be the biggest challenge for me, I think, watching him as Human Torch. But it's going to be awesome. And the last man, Andre, for The Thing, is, I believe his name goes by Eben Moss Bostrak. Okay? Bostrak, he, Andre, did you ever watch The Punisher? Oh, did I lose you all? Testing? Nope, I'm here.
Damn it! Oh, sorry, I was muted. I was doing something, but
Wow,
no, I've not seen.
so-
I've not seen The Punisher.
Okay. Have you seen, well, I want to say, have you seen Andor? He is in Andor, funny enough.
Is he within the 6 episodes, or is he further in?
He is in the first 6 episodes. He is part of the heist crew.
Which character is he?
He's an older white man with kind of a buzz cut.
Okay, then I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I think you will know who I'm talking about because you have the like curly-haired kid and you have the ex-stormtrooper.
See.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Eben Moss Backrack. He's actually playing the Thing, and he has like such a great gritty voice, in my opinion. And I know he can play a very serious role. In fact, a lot of he's also on the show The Bear, which I know that's like a cooking show off of Hulu, right? You watch that?
I've not watched that.
I feel like that's one you should watch just because cooking.
I do like cooking.
Yeah, I guess he plays a very serious role on that as well. He's very known for his serious roles, and that's exactly what's gonna be fun to see him as is the Thing. He is a very serious actor, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, is a very serious man because he struggled deformation since he got his powers.
Okay.
So, like, when it comes to a character that I can absolutely believe being like, this is my life now, I can see it from that guy.
Okay.
I can absolutely see it. But there's your cast, there's your slate, there's stuff for the Fantastic Four. And then, because there is a lot of information for a lot of the other films, I'll just skip on to the Doomsday thing. And what Andre had brought up earlier with the fact that Joe and Anthony Russo are returning to the MCU, and I'm so excited.
Our boys. The one that...
They did The Winter Soldier, they did Captain America Civil War, and then they also did Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. They have had a very big cast in every one of those movies. In fact, I love Civil War. I love Captain America, Winter Soldier.
I do too.
Like those are great films in of itself of the MCU, and not to mention, of course, Infinity War and Endgame, also.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that they're back. They just have really great synergy, and I feel like if they're gonna make anything feel like its legacy, like, hey, remember this thing that happened? Yeah, this is what happened because of it. Like, we're gonna see that from them. Not like what we've gotten, where unfortunately a lot of the Marvel properties since Endgame have been much more standalone.
Yeah.
Like, the MCU is very divided right now. Just because you have this going on, you have that going on, you have this going on, and that going on, then you have Hawkeye and Echo, which are very closely related, but not at all. And yeah, I can't wait till we get back to them building everything together, because usually they have a very star-studded cast for their films. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of those characters and cast come together finally.
What I'm showing on screen, guys, if you guys don't know, Doctor Doom's coming back. Or Doctor Doom's going to be in this, and he's going to be played by the beloved, returning Avenger, Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
So.
And that's where I want to hop into Doomsday, which is the movie they replaced for Kang Dynasty.
Yes.
For obvious reasons. Folks, in case you don't know, Jonathan Majors is the man who plays King the Conqueror in a number of Marvel properties right now. A number of franchises for Marvel.
Loki. Trying to think what else he played in.
Loki, Quantumania.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I feel like there's a third one. I just can't remember.
I think there is two. I just can't think of it because those are the two I knew.
I think what I'm thinking of is Loki Season 1 and Loki Season 2. And then Ant-Man Quantumania. I think that's what I'm thinking. But regardless, unfortunately, he won't be with us anymore in terms of the MCU.
Due to stuff. We're just going to say that, leave it at that, and call it that.
Yeah, I don't know the details there either, but there's
I
a
do,
lot there.
but I definitely don't want to talk about it. So they need to get a new
Very
person. Yeah, sadly.
Well, supposedly they recast him. It's just if they're like kind of glossing over his story, I'm scared that the person they chose will only get like a shine of limelight. And there's a lot to go on. I don't want to say all of that here on stream, only for the fact that Andre, you yourself are not a Marvel guy or like terribly into Marvel, like I am.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that I will want to go over with all the current MCU properties that have been released. And so I don't want to spoil it for other movie titles, franchises, like how this and this movie could...
Damn, I picked a good video. It's actually showing the cast of Fantastic Four, actually.
Awesome.
Oh, I picked a great video, guys.
There you go.
Then you got visual. You got visual of who is playing in the Fantastic Four. That's awesome. But yeah. So you guys know the stance with me and Marvel, because I don't know if I mentioned it. Pretty much, I never read the comic books. I've been a big DC fan, the animated series. That's what I was really into with superheroes and stuff. I never read the comic books of those at all either. Now Marvel, I got into it with a lot of the movies. You know, their movie saga, whatever you want to call it, with starting back with like Hulk, the first Hulk, which I know is technically you wouldn't include it, but it kind of still is, and then the Incredible Hulk and
I think
Iron Man.
I think it has to be. Okay, it is part of the first phase. Obviously.
Yes,
it does start with the Incredible Hulk, and especially with this movie, Brave New World. Like that's got to be represented because you're gonna have a lot from those originals too.
So yeah, that's where I pretty much got introduced to Marvel. Loved it. Kind of I watched a couple of the TV series of Marvel, like WandaVision. I watched Loki.
Oh, you did watch it? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I
didn't realize you watched WandaVision.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I think it was like one of the first really big TV series they pushed after.
It was the first.
Yeah.
It was the first.
It was the first? Okay. So I gave it a chance, watched a couple and watched some of the movies after it, and then I kind of just fell off. The ones I would say I technically stuck with was the Guardian trilogy, the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I loved those movies. Then, of course, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, great guy. Zendaya, great actress. So enjoyed those. But besides those, I never really watched the other Ant-Man. I never really watched. I watched Loki season 1, season 2. Little bit, but then I just didn't really care for it that much. But besides that, like I'm kind of hoping with the push forward they can get my attention back and make me want to watch a lot of this stuff again. It's been kind of hard. It's kind of the same thing with Star Wars. It's kind of hard to get invested in these things, but yeah. Go back to you with what you're saying.
I just want to bring one thing up because you just reminded me. Folks, this goes as kind of a heads up to all of you generous viewers.
Spoilers?
I do not really.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, of course the Deadpool Wolverine movie come out. And we know from the trailers that deals with the TVA, who is a big proponent in the Loki series.
You do bring up a very interesting thing.
You do not need to watch Loki season 1 or season 2. In fact, if there is anything like as reference, they actually do a very good job at explaining where it's from and or its importance to the show or to like the movie, to Deadpool and Wolverine. I do think, however, you would have much more appreciation for Deadpool and Wolverine if you saw season 1 and season 2. So, Andre, before you and your wife go out and see that movie, you should absolutely just catch up on season 2 beforehand, and I feel like you would appreciate it that much.
Yes. Oh, cool.
I'm not saying it's necessary, but I think you'd enjoy it.
That's cool. They're even showing the Fantastic Four vehicle. Oh, I picked a great video.
Look at you.
I was happy. So it's showing all this Comicon stuff. That's great, guys.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot with Doomsday because, of course, I don't know the order, but they have Secret Wars and they have Doomsday. Secret Wars is this whole thing. Secret Wars, like the
Thank
comic.
you, Phil Monger, for the video. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Secret Wars in the comics, the whole point is Doctor Doom takes control of pretty much like celestial beings. Okay. And this is a very abrupt description, folks. Don't lay into me too bad. But he pretty much gets control of celestial level beings and causes multiverse to collide. To, like wage war on each other on behalf, to cause chaos, I don't like this universe, I want you to get killed by this universe, like there's a lot. And Doctor Doom just has all that control. And that's what Secret Wars essentially is. Doctor Doom is the big bad. He's causing trouble. That's why he's like our new big bad. That's why he's like the new Thanos in this case. Which he should be, by all means. Doctor Doom is not
The new Kahuna?
Hello? Testing.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
You left us in suspense.
I had a major technical malfunction, including my wire coming out of my headset.
That happens.
And now we're back. But yeah, no, Doctor Doom is definitely no one to just like skip on. Like he is awesome. He's not gonna be like your MCU villain who he's taken out the film he shows up. That's just like the best way to gloss over him as character. And so where I think this whole Doctor Doom being Robert Downey Jr. thing is going to be super is, like I said, I think the Fantastic Four movie is going to end in cataclysmic chaos, causing the Fantastic Four to jump from the MCU, or jump from their universe to our universe of the MCU, and really take control of it. Hey, you guys need to get ready. I wouldn't be too surprised if Galactus is following them on this multiversal train. You know what I mean? And so part of the movie ends up them having to fight Galactus in modern MCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Hell, the Fantastic Four movie might end with them just coming to our MCU and using the heroes that they can find to help stop Galactus as the end of their movie. We might get kind of an Avengers level thing for Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie. And I want to make a very important note. It also sounds like the Fantastic Four is going to be the new Avengers. They're the forefront. You always had Captain America and Iron Man before.
So they're kind of like the...
They're like our new team.
Okay.
Which I'm sure, because another thing to bring up is that a Future Foundation, that's a whole thing that exists in the comics. That is something that will exist in the movie. Future Foundation is not something simple in the comics, and I will avoid one major spoiler, but it leads to the entire Fantastic Four rebranding as a team at the loss of a member. And because of this loss of a member, they actually recruit Spider-Man onto the team. And so it's one of those things that, if we're starting with Future Foundation Fantastic Four, and obviously they're all still alive, then it might not be a very happy ending for the Fantastic Four cast. Which is all the more reason I'm super excited for this movie, for this role, for all of it. But with all of that happening, I feel like we will get to meet our Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom. Because ideally, Doctor Doom, or because mind you, they call Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom. They don't introduce him as Victor Von Doom. They don't even allude to him possibly being Victor Von Doom. They introduce him as Doctor Doom. Which I know a lot of people. Hell, you might not even know his actual name. You know what I mean?
Because didn't they say that, just to clarify, that this Fantastic Four isn't going to be like more of an origin story at all? It's going to be like
It sounds like it's starting in like their prime.
Okay.
Almost. Like this is them at their peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was something I wanted to mention because I know like the last couple, well, only 2 of them out of the 3 Fantastic Four have been origin stories of, this is how these are the Fantastic Four. This is how they got their powers. They're not doing that.
Which is another reason I'm pretty sure that they are just going to kind of skip over that, or if they do come back to that, it will be much later. Like they'll come back to it for a good reason later. Like they'll probably have a moment in the later season or in the later like half of the movie where they might talk about or mention what happened to them versus like actually showing it like they have to show it. But with this, I know in the comics there is at least one specific comic where Doctor Doom is Tony Stark. Okay? I can't go into... okay, not that I won't, but I can't name all the details, just because I don't know all of the specifics. The gist I understood from this comic is Doctor Doom and Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark used to be college dorm mates.
I could see that.
Instead of Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. So in this universe, Victor might not even know Reed. Like they're not even associates in this universe, And a great way to describe it, Victor was a very reserved guy. Like, again, I'm going to use the original Fantastic Four movie as my standard here. But that Victor Von Doom, he was head of the company, and he wasn't afraid to express his own opinion, but it was very his way or not.
Or the highway.
Yeah, like, in this case, it's going to be very... You got to play by his rules. So where Victor is a very reserved college classmate, and Tony, being Tony, a very party-hardy college boy, like a playboy.
Yeah.
They do not get along in college. And I know one of the points of that comic is Victor becomes jealous of Tony and his resources, his abilities, and so he actually, like, kidnaps, and it's kind of like Hush in Batman, where Hush will take pieces off of everyday citizens and make a Bruce Wayne face and become Bruce Wayne. Like, that's Hush's ultimate goal, because he wants to be the rich man and ruin the rich man. You know what I'm talking about? You remember Hush, right?
I actually don't.
Oh, damn! That's the second Batman game too. He's one of the side stories for that game. But yeah, no, Hush. He's a serial kill someone because, like, maybe they have Bruce Wayne's ears.
Oh, actually, no, I do.
Because he has Bruce Wayne's nose.
I actually think I do remember him.
Yeah.
He's kind of crazy.
Victor gets to a point where he essentially body swaps with Tony Stark and then kills off Victor. He kills off himself. So now he is just Tony Stark with the mind of Victor Von Doom instead of being Tony. So now he has the unlimited resources of a Stark, and the evil demeanor of Doom. And so that will be another subplot in that movie, because I'm sure it's going to happen. Or I'd like to think we're going to get some hint at that,
Yeah.
I'd love to see how they do that. And I think that would be really important to his story, just for the fact that you don't want a Iron Man who goes Doom. But that could be the case, because another thing from that panel that I feel like it was very suggested, like very said, very prominent throughout the entire panel after they revealed Dr. Doom being Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. said it, Anthony and Joe Russo said it a bunch of times afterward, and it was one of like the last things they said when they closed out the panel was new mask, same task. That is the like motto they kept drilling with that panel. New mask, same task. So immediately my mind goes to, of course, obviously he's Dr. Doom now. Of course, new mask makes sense, right?
Yes.
Same task is I want to protect the world. Because that's all he wanted. Age of Ultron. That's what he wanted. Infinity War. That's what he wanted. End of Endgame. He wanted to save everyone. You want to protect Earth. And that's what I think we're going to dip into with his character, is Dr. Doom is much more like Earth needs to be the forefront of existence. Humanity needs to be the forefront of existence, or, however you go about that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. Mind you, obviously, there's still a lot for San Diego Comic-Con. There's the Thunderbolts to go over. There's Captain America: Brave New World. And we kind of talked about Brave New World. But
Harrison Ford.
There's so much there. So much.
Which is good. There's a lot of good things coming to Marvel.
I won't go that far. I'm just super excited though. Like if I'm worried for the Thunderbolts story. And that's only because there is a huge cast for that story. Have you looked into that at all, Andre?
I have not. I don't even know who the Thunderbolts are, really, to be honest.
So the Thunderbolts is the Marvel equivalent of the Suicide Squad. Except they are much more, you guys are government property. You're not war criminals. We're just going to use you. It's like the rehab group,
Okay.
It's like outlaw and good behavior. Like, yeah, you've committed war crimes, but you're not villains. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Well, for instance, and I'll just run through the cast with it, because it's like I think it's like a 9-person cast, if I remember right. So you start, because you know the Suicide Squad, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
at least from the movies.
Okay, I'm going to refer to someone. Do you know Rick Flag? Do you remember Rick Flag?
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag is the government official who leads the Suicide Squad.
Okay, then yeah.
To quote Suicide Squad, the good one.
The only good one.
The good one. It's Peacemaker. What a joke.
I love Peacemaker. It's great.
But you know what? You know who I'm quoting?
Yes.
Okay. That will be played by Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier.
Interesting, okay.
He's the leader of this very makeshift team.
Interesting.
He will have U.S. Agent on his team. In
Okay.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. You know who that is?
U.S. Agent.
Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
He was John Walker, the man the government made into Captain
Oh,
America.
that guy. Yeah. He was.
He's on the team. He's commit a war crime. He killed someone in
Yeah.
in a non-American country,
Yeah,
you know, publicly too, execution.
I do remember that. I was like, whoa.
You have Ghost, which that's a shout. I believe her name is
Ghost.
Haley Young. No, not that Ghost.
Damn it.
Ghost actually from Ant-Man 2.
I definitely didn't see Ant-Man 2, so I have no idea.
She was a woman with quantum powers who could essentially walk through walls.
Interesting.
Yes, she was kind of the villain of that movie.
But now she's good.
Well, I was going to say,
Ish.
I don't know if she's good, but she's on this team. And I would recommend watching, like, I'll name these characters, and there's going to be a lot of them from a lot of different properties, and I'm going to recommend you definitely go watch all of those for this, because there's a lot. Most of the team, I'm going to say most, is actually made up of the Black Widow cast. You have David Harbour's Red Guardian.
Awesome. Comedic relief.
You have Yelena Belova.
Of course.
Florence Pugh's character, which I'd say she's also very comedic relief, but
Yes.
she's also a great actress. You will have Taskmaster from Black Widow. The assassin.
Taskmaster. Okay, interesting.
The assassin from that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Oh God, I have to like look this up again because it's a huge cast. I'll continue with it, but there's another character, a brand new character coming out to this movie. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I'm super excited for this character because there's just so much to them. Like, they are a very complex character.
Okay.
I'm
Complex.
only worried about them because he himself is essentially, he's not but he's pretty much the, Marvel equivalent of Superman.
Okay.
No, that's not even fair. I guess there is another, but I just can't think how to really place it. His name is Sentry. It's a character named Sentry who essentially has the same power base as... He has the same power base as Superman. He can fly. Goddamn. He can fly, he has super strength, he's like virtually indestructible. I believe he also has laser, if I'm not mistaken. So again, very, very Superman. The only difference to a character like Sentry is he has a very childlike sense of wonder. Like, he it's like he was born yesterday. Okay.
Okay.
So like, I believe, 'cause I told you there are trailers that were released for these movies.
Was he supposed to be played by Steven Yeun?
He was.
But he dropped out.
Steven Yeun, who, due to scheduling conflicts, he had issues. He couldn't make it. He couldn't continue. So they recast him. I don't mind the recast. I'm not too familiar with him.
Who is the recast?
I could not tell you. I don't know the name.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with this guy. Here's the thing. Sentry is a very iconic character. He's like this big, bulky, blonde hair, blue eyes kind of guy. And nothing against Steven Yeun, he definitely does not fit that demeanor for Sentry. And I know that's kind of part of the character, is his appearance. Just because he was always framed like Superman. Superman's like the iconic, so to speak. And so it's kind of delving off that idea or ideal, where Sentry needs to be very iconic. And this guy definitely fits the bill a little more. It's just he is very scrawny for a minute.
Okay.
But I've got faith in him. He seems like a great guy. Sounds like they have great chemistry. And I guess in the trailer, he plays a very, like, childlike sense of wonder kind of dude. Like, for instance, I believe from the trailer, because I don't know specifics for this trailer, I just know a brief description, in which, like, there's a scene, and it might be, like, the first scene of the movie, in which the Suicide Squad, the Thunderbolts, are sent to, a prison where Sentry has escaped. And I guess Sentry's, like, walking out, and he's up at all these guards, waving at them as they are gunning him down with assault rifles. And he's just, like, waving, like, hi, guys, it's me. You give me food, like, every Tuesday? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just super childlike. Like, he's a great guy. The thing about Sentry is, other than his power base, he has a very dark side. He has a evil entity called...
Okay. Spark?
Sorry, mic thing.
So I found out who it is. It's Lewis Pullman. Now, out of all the movies I've seen, I don't know if you've seen The Strangers Prey at Night, but the only movie that I personally have seen that really pops out is he played in Top Gun Maverick. He played Bob.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean this in the nicest way. He was kind of chunky as Bob.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Because, you know, obviously he shredded that.
Yeah, he had to.
He wasn't, like, fat. But, like, he was one of the guys that, like, he wouldn't be the muscle tone beach scene. Maybe he was. I just, you know, I'm not paying attention to Bob. But he's definitely gone through a change, and now I'm super excited for it. I see he's also in Outer Range, which I heard things about that, but I never saw it.
I've never seen it either, so...
And everything else I'm seeing here also, they don't stand out. And folks, those movies would be, yes, The Strangers, Prey at Night. I know that got good reviews, but I'm not a horror film guy.
Oh, he played Bob. Okay, yeah, I don't know who Bob is. Okay. He did a good job playing as Bob then. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but think about, like, how different... Well, okay, I don't know what you're seeing for a picture for him. Looking at him, he doesn't look like Bob.
Oh, yeah, I know.
At all. Like, damn, he went through a change, and that's awesome.
Bob was the guy from Top Gun Maverick that was wearing the glasses and stuff, and he was being picked on by what was the guy's name? The one pilot that was like the asshole out of all of them. He was like, I'm the best.
I think that's Hangman.
Hangman, yeah.
Because in the first one, it's Iceman.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but Bob was like the.
Well, you know why he was called Bob, right?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know what Bob stands for?
Yes.
Oh, well, congrats. And folks, for context here, it's baby on board.
Yeah.
Very, very innocent character.
But no, you did a good job playing as that character, so.
Yeah, no, that's nuts to me.
But I'm kind of glad that. That's what I always want to try to do. Is I always want to try to look up an actor, especially if I don't know that much about them, see what kind of movies they are, and see what roles they play. So it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of, like how far they can like stretch their acting, and like how good of an actor if they can play someone that's like really innocent, like Bob from Top Gun Maverick, and became like a really great pilot and stuff, and involved as a character a little bit, you know.
And see, if you would look him up, Andre, I think you'd get some pretty good, like, images, but Sentry. Look up Sentry.
Sentry. Yeah. I'm seeing Sentry. Oh, yeah, I can pull it off. I can see it.
But now you can because if you're looking at the images, you probably also got the one where it's Stephen Ewan, like
Yeah.
someone made him into Sentry, which I mean looks great and all, but obviously that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to see that now. And I'm bringing up the cast list one more time so I can actually see. Oh, another big member of the cast I should mention, because okay, so the Thunderbolts. The reason they're called the Thunderbolts is because this is supposed to be Thaddeus Ross's. You know, like how the MCU or how DC has Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
And she's in charge of it.
Yes.
There was a very big descriptor that, or you know, a very big like moment in the MCU where it's actually Thaddeus Ross, aka Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Like that's his call sign, is Thunderbolt.
Okay.
So like Thaddeus, you know, Red Hulk is the like that's why this team was made. It's his thing. It seems like for this movie, he will not be the one in charge. They have given us a new Amanda Waller for the MCU. And that will be someone you should be very familiar with, seeing some of the other properties. Valentina. Was it Louis Marine Dreyfus? Is that her name? Her character, she's got this like black hair with a purple streak through it. She was in Wakanda Forever. She was in.
Oh, I know you're talking about it. Yeah.
Black Widow. She was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. She will be the like leader for this. And I guess I named everyone
For
except there is another image here. I believe this is more of a fan casting, but these are characters who should and could absolutely be part of the Thunderbolt team, and I would love to see in the Thunderbolt team. Would include people like Red Hulk. Obviously, Red Hulk will be a character by the time the Thunderbolts comes out, you know? So we might see Red Hulk be involved with this team.
Yeah.
Depending on what you think of the She-Hulk series, what's his name? Abomination? Abomination would be a very good fit for this team. In comics, he is a very big member of the team. And then going by this MCU photo, two more characters that they proposed could show up in the film, and I think they'd be great addition to the cast, is one, White Vision. Which, mind you, we are supposed to be getting a Vision series, according to the SDCC panel. Like, we will get a Vision. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I think so.
It's like the actual body of Vision.
Okay.
The white one.
The one that left.
The one who got all the memories from Scarlet Witch's
Yes.
Vision.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, that's White Vision. It says that he could be part of the team or could be expected to be in the film. And then the last one, I think this guy needs to be on the Thunderbolt team. Like, he's so good. I loved him and everything, like in the Falcon and Winter Soldier and all. Baron Zemo. I think Baron Zemo would make an excellent addition to this cast, to this motley crew of people.
Motley crew of somebodies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, dude, it could be so fun. So fun.
We will see. When's that supposed to come out? Next year, or I can look it up if I need to.
Might need to. I don't know if
Thunderbolts. They don't have well, I guess they do.
They had a year. They had a year.
It's 2025, so it's supposed to be coming out sometime. Next year. I don't trust. No offense, I don't trust Wikipedia's thing.
No, I actually that could be very good.
Just in case, but it's saying its initial release is supposed to be April 30th of 2025. But as you know, with anything, things could definitely.
I'm not trusting the date.
I'm not trusting the date. The year, yeah.
The year, okay, because I'm trying to look this up. There's actually a whole thing. I don't know if this is actually. How accurate is this? I don't think this is. No, it's not. This is fake as hell.
Probably.
Also, I should know the Fantastic Four series, you know?
Yeah.
They're, the official name for that will be the Fantastic Four. Or there's like a slightly different thing. I think it's Fantastic Four, not the Fantastic Four. But it's Fantastic Four First Steps. Like there's a subtitle to this one. Like, like Spider-Man. Spider-Man got Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Oh, I'm really trying to find this because there was a whole lineup thing, and if I'm not mistaken, actually, Thunderbolts is the only thing coming out next year in terms of movie for 2025. Because, like, the whole new slated timeline. Actually, no, that wouldn't be the case. It'd be Falcon and Winter Soldier. Or no, goddammit, not Falcon and Winter Soldier. Captain America, Brave New World.
Brave New World. Yeah.
Yeah, Brave New World would be the case.
Because he's the new Captain America, and he has to
take
on a brand new world. So what about this new Spider-Man movie?
Okay, which one? Because
this is a different. This is something else. Never mind. This looks like an animated series. Okay.
Oh, is it like high school year or freshman year?
Yeah.
So they announced that a while back, and I haven't heard anything about it actually. Like they didn't even. No one went over it for like all the panel reviews.
Oh really?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. But what it is it's an animated series they're doing for Spider-Man for his freshman year of high school, I guess. And it's supposed to have a lot in it, but it sounds like it's a whole different universe, like it's not canon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it.
I know Agatha is supposed to be coming out this year, actually next month.
Really? Wait, that's coming out so soon. I didn't realize that.
Well, by IGN's post, it's saying it's supposed to be coming out September 18th of this year.
Okay, shit. That's gonna be great. Well, okay. I'm not saying that's great. I should backtrack or clarify. I'm not excited for that show, if I'm totally honest.
I'm personally not either. Agatha, no offense, was a very interesting character in the WandaVision series, but I don't think. I don't know. Need her own TV series, and I hope. I have a weird feeling it's gonna. I hope it's not a lot of backtracking of what happened in Wanda. We're just seeing it from a different perspective. Like, I don't mind a part of that, but I don't want it to be a lot of the series is like, oh, we're just seeing it through her perspective. Like, I'm hoping it's not that, but
I know it's not that because I mean they've come out with a trailer for that. There is a trailer for the show.
I have not seen the trailer.
It's definitely a post show, like,
okay. Well, that makes me feel actually kind of excited about that then.
Because obviously have you seen Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I have.
If you've seen that and you've seen the WandaVision series, then you know the Scarlet Witch is gone.
Yeah.
Or believed to be gone. Like that's how it's set up. She's gone.
Yes.
In which case, what's it called? In
The Eyes of Wakanda series.
I don't know if that's a legitimate thing or not either.
I don't know either.
But since the Scarlet Witch is gone, it's about her breaking out of her prison. Because, the last thing Scarlet Witch did was trap Agatha to her, like, mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's stuck as that TV show character. And so it just sounds it's like her breaking out of that mindscape. Because the Scarlet Witch is dead. It's like the warden's gone, but the prison is still running,
Yeah.
So it'll be really, really cool to see that. Really cool.
Oh. And there's the Ironheart movie that's supposed to be coming out next.
That movie? I thought that was supposed to be a show.
Is it a show? It doesn't say if it is a movie or a show.
I think it was supposed to be a series.
This is Ironheart.
Which, regardless, it's fine. I don't know how excited I am for it,
it doesn't say if it is like a movie or.
I think I'm pretty sure it's a show.
It's probably a show then. I don't know anything about it.
It's one of those things.
Yes. I agree.
Wait, did that come through?
No, it did not.
Okay. No, that's why I think we would see this as a show, only because, it's like a character like Agatha, where you don't give Agatha a movie, you give her a show. You test the waters with these characters. You don't just commit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think the biggest commitment we're getting is there is a show that is slated to come out next year that we haven't heard a lot on, okay? And mind you, I don't know anything about this character. I know he's a Marvel property, and I know he's a real character. It's not like a new thing. But the character is called Wonder Man. Wonder Man.
Yes.
He's an MCU character, or he's a Marvel character. And I know he's been alluded to a few times in the MCU, but not like directly said. I don't know if his name is said. I don't know if he's been referenced, or like you take his reference as him. But
Wonder Man.
Yes, Wonder Man is a thing that is supposed to happen, and that's the newest thing, Like, otherwise you can go and like talk about the Blade movie, which, mind you, the Blade movie is currently delayed indefinitely. Like,
yeah, I heard about that.
Well, I don't know what the whole shtick there is, but yeah, just sounds like there's a lot of issues with it. What's gonna happen there? Could be pretty painful. Could be very painful what happens with
latent powers like teleportation, shape-shifting, and also some rarely used by Wonder Man. So Wonder Man sounds like he's just
No, go ahead. What was that? I didn't even.
Oh, I was wondering. So from Wikipedia, this is from Wikipedia, guys. Okay. So it says that he's a classic superhero. He was first shown in. Sounds like he was shown in the Avengers classic comic book. Made by created by Stan Lee, created by writer Stan Lee, of course, in the Avengers. But his skills are as a superhero is flight, invulnerability, bulletproof skin, leaps over tall buildings in a single bound, extremely agile, super reflexes, as well as latent powers like teleportation and shape shifting, but those are more rare for Wonder. So he sounds like I'm trying to think. So he can fly, invulnerability, bulletproof, leaping, super reflexes. He sounds like a. I'm trying to think of a hero. Like I can't say really Superman, but because I guess kind of, but not as powerful. I would assume.
When you say something like leaping instead of flying,
apparently he can. It says flight, so I'm assuming he could. But he's leaping across buildings, so I'm assuming maybe he can't fly.
I was gonna say I don't think he can fly, but I bet he can leap and pretty much fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as long as there's stuff to jump off of, he can. That doesn't stand out as anyone in DC, at least. Other maybe like Wonder Woman. You know, I think she could do that. She's strong enough. She's athletic enough.
Yeah. So maybe like a Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with him because I don't know anything about him, and I'm kind of trying. I'm kind of trying to keep it that way, just because like I don't know where he fits, and that could be cool, you know.
Apparently, energy weapons are his weakness.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I wonder if it's just like a debilitating thing. You know, like if his powers are wondrous, you know, like it's physical. You know, if an energy weapon, like say a taser, heat, you know, like stuff that would affect the human body, essentially. Because obviously you say he's bulletproof, you know, but if he can be affected by an energy weapon, like a taser, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he says that he's an ionic energy being, so that's why energy weapons hurt him. Which I'm curious to see what his origin story is about, like how he becomes.
There's a lot there that I'd be super interested in seeing. Plus, you know, we're to a point in the MCU where it's like we know a lot, and there's all these different things you can go over. Like, for instance, one thing I'm super hyped for, and a good friend of ours, Def, he would also be very excited. We've talked about happening for so long, okay? Like, at least for 5 years now, we have talked about this happening.
DC and the MCU go against each other in a movie?
Fuck no.
Oh, damn.
The DC would lose.
DC would win. Let's be honest here, guys. Okay, we're not here to debate about that. Now, what were you going to say?
Nah, we know it would lose if it's going by the movies.
No.
But no, with Marvel, the Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns is a supernatural fighting team made by like characters like Blade, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange. If you go like looking at like the game, comics and all, you're gonna have a lot Magic. You're gonna have Nico Minoru.
Dr. Voodoo. I don't know who Dr. Voodoo is.
I don't know who that is. But you're gonna have a lot of these like supernatural fighters in the Midnight Suns.
Moon Knight. They could bring Moon Knight back.
Well, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he is part of this. And that's why we're super excited about it, because I think when we first talked about it is because Moon Knight got announced as a series, because that was like 2-3 years before Moon Knight came out.
Yeah.
And looking at Moon Knight, dude, Moon Knight was I love Moon Knight with such a passion. I love that it did a very good job at only subtly mentioning the MCU. Like, because otherwise, the easiest way to connect everything is the Battle of New York. The Battle of New York is like the best way of connecting it to the MCU. You know, that was a huge thing that obviously, like, even as a civilian, that would be traumatizing. In the Moon Knight series, the only mention they really have to the MCU is a point where they talk about the ancestral plane, obviously from like the Wakandan stories, like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. You know, when they mention the ancestral plane, that's the thing that they've talked about in the show that has something to do with the broader MCU.
Let's see.
And so that's another reason where I'm like, it's in the MCU, or, you know, it's very connected. You could easily connect it, or you could loosely connect it. You know, it could still be part of the universe involved in some other projects that I don't want to name because I won't spoil. Blah blah blah.
Spoiler.
But like, again, you could include him in a bunch of different universes, and I think it's just a loose enough connection. He could be part of the Black Panther in this universe. He could be part of that one, so on.
Could be part of all of them.
He could. He very well could be. And just the fact that Moon Knight is no stranger to fighting demons and gods. You got Doctor Strange, who's no stranger to fighting the mystic arts.
Yes.
Ghost Rider is very supernatural and demonic. Same with Blade. Blade, vampire, but you know, demonic.
Morbius.
You could
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Morbius can also fight on the team. He's been known to fight for the Midnight Suns, but more to his own agenda. The Hellstrom twins, I mentioned them from the Hulu series, which I don't think we will ever see them return.
Apparently, they even have Wong on here too.
Oh, on the Midnight Suns team?
Yeah.
I can believe it. Working with Doctor Strange, you know, like if they ever need... Because again, I think you have a lot of characters who deal with a lot of different avenues. Like, you know, like if this guy knows this fight, this guy knows this fight, this person knows that fight. You know, if you have a very magic-oriented...
Who's Elsa Bloodstone?
Elsa Bloodstone, that's from... Elsa Bloodstone is from, oh god, Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night.
Remember that? When that came out? Werewolf by Night was it was a Marvel Studios feature that came out.
I did not watch this. I know what you're talking about now. You mentioned
Yes.
it. You talked about, but I did not watch
Yes,
it.
it came out on Halloween like 3 years ago. And it was great. Like, people loved it. It was so weird because it was like so old style. Like, because it's black and white. The first time it came out was black and white.
Okay.
It introduced a bunch of characters who are very iconic Marvel. In fact, dude, you want to talk about powerhouses? So we'll go look at that show. I think it does a really good job at talking about the supernatural side of Marvel.
Okay.
Much more like the Halloween aesthetic, you know, side, in a way, like that kind of supernatural. Your iconic like werewolf, because you know, Werewolf by Night. But digging into all that, that movie did a great job. And then I know the year later, after that movie came out, they actually released the full color version, so you can actually go watch the full release of that movie. And then you can also just watch the black and white one. I think the black and white one will obviously hold nostalgia, but the color one is what I would watch if available. Just because I like to take in everything, even the colors, you know. Not that the black and white one doesn't have color, it does. It's a very muted color. Like, you'll see what I mean. Like, the bloodstone part of it, like, the stone is still red. There's a character with yellow eyes. There's a character with red eyes. Like, you're gonna see some slight, subtle bits of color, and that's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna see for color.
Okay. Interesting. Huh.
Yes.
Interesting indeed. Iron Fist was even a part of it? Interesting.
I can believe it.
Wolverine.
Wolverine is also very well known. Yeah. Just because, he's the kind of guy you can throw at anything. If we go by the video game, because the Avengers will tackle and work with it too, because Hydra's also been known to deal with demonic and... But, and from the game alone, the roster's pretty big, because you have Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Blade, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Magic, Nico. You never got Moon Knight, which is very unfortunate. A lot of people are actually pissed about that. But you had Wolverine. The DLC characters they had were Deadpool, Morbius, Storm, and Venom. Spider-Man was also on the team too. I'm trying to think. I know there's more characters. I just can't think of other characters. And honestly, that was a very fun game. Centered around a character that's unique to that game. Like, it was made for that game. I know later they end up making comics for that character.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like they might even introduce a more live-action style to the character, but who knows? I think that's only if they ever make it as far as it. And I know Agatha's part of the game too. Oh, Scarlet Witch is in it too. She's part of the main bunch that is Midnight Suns. Yeah, no, it's a really fun crowd. They all have their own. Oh, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is also on that team. And that might be it for the Avengers and all of them, like the total roster, because it's like 12 characters plus 4 more. So it's a fun group of characters. Very fun group of characters. That is like tactical team strategy.
What's Armor Wars?
Armor Wars, right? I forgot that's coming out, but they didn't announce anything about that either.
They did not.
Armor Wars. It sounds like what Armor Wars is going to be. I think it will take place after the Ironheart series. And I've heard mixed things. I've heard that this is supposed to be a movie, and I've heard this is also supposed to be a series. It's essentially about Rhodey. It's about War Machine. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Rhodes?
Yeah, the sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I know he's but he's the side of it.
Question: did you watch Secret Invasion?
No.
I would recommend watching that before Armor Wars.
It's supposed to be a, by what it says. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say because I know James Rhodes is in it, and he's in that. He's in Secret Invasion, and I think that'll be a big part of it too. But to say the least, after the events of Endgame and everything that has happened, and with someone like Ironheart, who she's a person who can make Stark tech, essentially. It'd be up to James Rhodes to kind of recover Stark assets, and kind of upkeep Tony's legacy as he's not a weapons manufacturer. Keep control of that market because what are people gonna do with a fucking Iron Man suits at their own disposal?
Crazy shit.
Exactly. So it sounds like Armor Wars is gonna be one of those kind of lines where it's the bad guys have hold of good guy tech, and it's up to them to stop it.
It's supposed to be a movie, is what they're saying it is.
Really? Okay. Because I'm sure Ironheart is gonna be part of it because she can make Stark level stuff.
It's supposed to be centered around War Machine. It's a sequel to Secret Invasion and Ironheart.
Exactly. Another thing that might be very important to point out. Have you seen Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, with the sister.
Because obviously, that's where we meet Ironheart too.
Yeah.
And folks, in case you don't want spoilers, go on. Okoye, and I don't know the other gal's name. Familiar with her character. From Wakanda Forever, they become Midnight Talon. Midnight something. Midnight Sisters. Anyway, they have those weird like suits, you know, with the like tendrils. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
They get these like battle suits that can fly, and it boosts their like athletic ability. And I know Okoye, you know, the Melage, that gal who plays Michonne.
That literally came out in 2022? Wow.
What? Wakanda Forever?
Yeah.
Sounds right, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if their armor as Stark tech, because it's very Stark tech. It's cybernetic enhancement, essentially. Or that's how it feels. You know, it's like a Spartan outfit. It just boosts the wearer in every way.
Yes. See images. So she's gonna be Ironheart. Okay.
And say they kept it the same character, right?
Yeah.
Same gal? Okay,
I'm
good.
pretty sure they are keeping it the same gal. I'm just like looking up the character, see who it is, because I said Wakanda Forever, even though it's been like technically only 2 years, it feels like it's been forever since I've watched it. So I'm trying to reintroduce myself and be like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, then I do remember her then, yes. I do remember her. Okay. Yeah.
And I just realized we are coming up on our...
Yeah, we're coming up to that another thing. Okay. Well, we're near the end of our episode. I'm trying to think of anything else to say. I know there's a lot of interesting movies out. Twisters, I heard, was very interesting. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was pretty good. Despicable Me 4 did very well. Would like to go see it, but I might just wait for it to come to streaming. Is there anything else popping up?
On the bright side, if you go see it, you know, we could probably do one on that.
Yeah, it would be fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna wait till streaming. I'm so like it's hard for me, man.
So late.
It's so hard. It's so hard to like, especially here, to just go see a movie and justify spending that much money just for like a 2-hour movie. At least when you go to a restaurant, you're getting fed a really great meal and you might have leftovers possibly after that too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. We should be hearing more about D23. Let me look up the official date when it's supposed to happen. I know it's pretty close. I'm trying to think of the official date when it pops up.
Yeah.
So we can keep you guys updated on that, because that's going to be the most... it's going to be like the big news on a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, by what I'm seeing... I don't know if that's true, though. Let me find something more justified. Oh. That'd actually be kind of cool. I didn't think about that, actually. Huh.
What?
I don't know if they announced it. So, if you guys don't know, Kingdom Hearts has been they've been working with Disney and stuff, and some people are like, what if they talk about the next Kingdom Hearts? They might. You never know. That would be pretty cool. That'd be a fun thing. So, by what I'm seeing, it's supposed to happen August 9th, so literally this Friday coming up, and it'll be that weekend. So, it'll be pretty much this weekend coming up is when the D23 is going to hit. So, more than likely, depending on what kind of news we hear, we might have some stuff to talk about. next week.
Well, that was the other thing, folks. I know was probably expecting us to be on track with the Andor series, with what we had said.
Yeah, I apologize for
The
that.
first 6 episodes. So, if nothing else, I actually picking that back up.
Yes.
But make sure to, leave a comment, leave some love. This man to finally watch the show. And I think what we'll do, and Andre and I here will debate on it as to what we'll do, but I think what we'll start off by doing is going over the first 6 episodes next week, if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, go probably one at a time, just to give it some love.
Give it some love.
And otherwise, we might even go by like 3 episodes, because there's kind of 3 episode arcs throughout the series. Like episode 1, 2, 3 is intro, 4, 5, 6 is heist, and then keep going on with that story. Folks at home, you know what I'm talking about. Seen the series.
Yes. Yes, D23. How much do the tickets cost? Okay, that's kind of expected. $100.
That's not terrible.
It's not horrible, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was expecting an easy like $220 kind of thing.
And Disney would be able to get away with it. That's the sad thing about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They could 100% get away with it.
But I won't let them get away with it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what D23. I think there's been schedules that popped up. If I'm thinking correctly, I don't know what the schedules are, what they're going to be talking about. Actually, I'm looking at the schedule right now. Oh,
What?
they're going to be the Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Oh, the season 2.
I'm assuming so. If you guys haven't seen the TV series, it's actually pretty good. Pretty good, actually.
It is pretty good. We might even talk about that. Maybe that's something we can come up to sometime.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty fun to talk. Because I actually did enjoy it. And for my, so my wife, she grew up actually reading the books a lot, and she did enjoy the TV series a lot better than the movies. They were actually more closer to the books.
They were definitely closer.
So that will be definitely... I would like to see season 2.
We were talking about shows that they started filming,
Uh-huh.
like before, like who cares what they say? We're doing it.
Yeah.
That was one of the shows. I think it's getting 3 seasons.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really curious what they do with that.
I think each season...
I only know season 1, season 2 story. I don't even know what to do for season 3.
Season 3, my wife would know. I said all I know is because of the movies, and I think in the movies, I think they got to 3 movies before they stopped, if I'm thinking correctly.
No, they didn't.
Or did they only get to 2?
Each season is supposed to be the book.
They only
The
did
next
2.
season will be Sea of Monsters, Andre.
Sea of Monsters. Isn't that the one where he meets his brother or half brother or whatever?
Yeah, Tyson.
Okay, then they only made it to 2. Then okay, never mind.
It's to follow the book with each season,
But,
supposedly.
Okay.
I don't even know what to think with
Thank you.
season 3. Yes,
So-
folks
so-
says it's the wife.
Yeah, that was my wife telling me what's up, which I appreciate because she knows more about it. So yeah, they're supposed to be every season's supposed to be a book, and I said since they never made it to the 3rd, I have no idea what to expect from the 3rd
I want
one.
to say I have an idea. So forgive me if I spoil or whatever.
No.
Yes.
Is there anything
I'm pretty
about
sure,
Star
like,
Wars?
I know the plot of the second movie
Yeah, go ahead.
was like Kronos' return. Grandpa coming back.
Oh, I forgot.
I
about
know.
that.
Well, that was the reason. Like, that's part of the whole story for the second movie was you need the brothers' help to stop Kronos, and we kept thinking like, oh, it's Percy you need. No, it's actually or something like that. I think in the books though, because folks, I've never read the books. I've never But I'm pretty sure Kronos actually. So I think season 3 is one of those things where it's like, this is like the do-all, end-all. He's come back. We either stop him or we just lose. You know, like that's the rebel.
Yes. I don't know what that. Oh, whoa, what happened? Hello? Hello? Whoa.
Welcome back.
I must have glitched a bit. That was weird. I don't know what happened.
Are we live or no?
No, we're still live. We're still live. We're still kicking.
Okay. Well, folks, once again, I believe season 3, or not season 3, I think there is a book that continues on with Kronos actually completing his mission, returning to the land of the living, and season 3 be, or not season 3, but the third book be something fighting that existence, you know.
Yes.
That's what I want to think. I want to think that is something that happened in the book, but I don't know. I never actually read them. I just feel like that's the story I was told back in high school by people who did.
I'm looking through the schedule, so the couple things that I completely forgot that they're probably going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about definitely Zootopia 2. They're going to have conversations with the filmmakers. They're going to be talking about Moana 2.
That makes sense.
Which was a TV series, but they've decided they're going to be making it into... Oh, it was, actually, going to be a TV series. Yeah, Moana 2 was actually going to be a TV series at one point.
Moana 2, that makes sense.
But they're making it into a movie now, so they're going to be talking probably about that. Now, the funny thing is, for the Lucasfilm part, it just says Experience ILM Stagecraft, which I don't know.
ILM Stagecraft?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So I don't know.
Oh, my theater knowledge is failing me right now. I feel like I do know it. I just can't think of that terminology.
What is this? It's industrial. Oh, it's the Industrial Lights, and so it's the company that does all that cool stuff. So I'm guessing you can just experience it, like all what they make. I'm assuming they're gonna probably talk about some Star Wars stuff. Probably about I would assume more about damn, I can't think of the name of the series that we just talked about.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew for sure. Probably get a trailer, is what I would assume. Or something besides just pictures that have been leaked. That's it.
You know what I would rather see? And Andre, all the more reason I hope you do actually watch the show this time. Andor season 2. That should be coming out.
That is true.
At least by next year, I'm pretty sure it's coming out. So, seriously, you should hop on that, because if you see the trailer,
bring the cast together, maybe have them talk. I don't know. Young Boba Fett is going to be there. Don't worry. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what kind of news we hear about. We're going to probably hear about a lot of different things from this.
Book of Boba Fett season 2 would be great, because I still think the only thing that can save it is old Omega. You know, we need a new Omega.
Omega. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because what else do you do with her? Or not her, with him. Bring his sister along, who was raised like a mercenary and a clone. Because I think she has more the dignity of, or maybe the dignity or the action of Jango. Or Boba has the aggression and action.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. So yes, this weekend's going to be interesting. Keep your eyes open for news. It's going to be interesting to see what Disney's going to talk about, Lucasfilm's going to talk about, because they're going to be definitely there and present, probably showing off their new stuff, talking about their new plans. We're going to be hearing some stuff, definitely, including probably stuff about the parks that they're going to be going forward, because especially with Universal's Epic Universe coming out next year, Disney's got to be like, hey, come to Disney, because...
Pay for this, please.
Yeah, come to us. Don't go to Epic Universe, because I think what they've said with Epic Universe, you can't buy a one-ticket pass to go there. You have to buy a multiple day ticket. So that will encourage people more to go to the Universal parks, which will be 3, than just do a one and done and then go to Disney, you know. So it's very smart of them to do that. Okay, but yeah, I think we're going to end this show right here, guys. We'll see you guys next Monday, 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time again. We'll either be talking about Endor, probably, maybe, we'll mainly be talking about Endor, but depending on what we hear from D23, we might even throw some of that stuff in the beginning just to get that stuff out if it's really exciting and stuff. But yeah, it should be an interesting week. I had a feeling there was a lot of stuff happening this week. I just didn't know what it was. But yeah, pretty exciting week coming up. Movie releases, D23's around the corner. I think there's a game or something coming out too.
Hey, when's that happening? Friday, you said?
Friday, yes.
The 9th?
The 9th is the first day.
Wow, same day as Borderlands movie.
Yep. So many things happening this week, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great rest of your week, guys. And I hope you all have a great day. See you guys later. Bye.
I do too. Bye.
Yeah, see ya.